I feel the best when I have like those step 5 moments where things that come to me that would normally bother me so much don't bother me, and I can handle it so well. So I guess my question is, even with meditation, when there's things that happen that are just out of your control, and big things, deaths, or things that might happen to children, it's difficult to stay in that alignment. What would you recommend aside from meditation?
Well, we would recommend that you stop saying that it's difficult. We'd recommend that you do a different segment intending. What you basically just did was to take your notebook and you just said, I feel sadness over many things I see. And if you're really segment intending, if you're really wanting to merge yourself with your inner being, which is the ultimate step 5 moment, then your sentiment would be something like, there are unwanted things amidst many wanted things. And I love focusing on the wanted things no matter what. There are so many more things wanted than unwanted in every moment in time for everyone. I love the sensation, you already said that, of being in such sync with my inner being that I'm seeing the world through the eyes of Source. The only thing that produces and perpetuates satisfaction is knowing what you want and moving toward it. And knowing what you don't want and moving toward that produces the opposite. So there's satisfaction and dissatisfaction potential in every moment of focus. And so you said something just now that a lot of people say. Many people believe it because they say it over and over and over again, so they really believe it. We don't do that. We don't believe that. We don't say that over and over. And what you said is, there is so much that I can't control. What we would say instead of that is, I am not here to control anything that anyone is doing. I'm here to control my response to whatever comes into my experience. The only thing I am here to control is my vibrational relationship with my inner being. Because when I get in control of that, that means that every single moment in time, I'm so practiced at syncing up with that I have access to the thought that my inner being thinks about that. So you're aware that a child has died, and your inner being is aware that that child is eternal, and you're aware that that child is no longer in its physical body, and your inner being is aware that there's no separation between non-physical and physical, and that the communications and the relationships can continue on if they're wanted. Or you see someone suffering and you think, oh, it's a terrible situation that's causing that person to suffer, and your inner being is thinking, this person is merely temporarily depriving themselves of the pleasure of alignment, and that could change as quickly as they take the stick out of the wheel. When you give yourself the knowledge-based ability to hook up with your inner being and what your inner being knows about every situation, then, and really only then, are you the person in this body, in this time and space, in the way that you intended as you came. Not one of you said, I'm coming, but I'm not going to use my guidance system, and I'm not going to hook up with my greater knowing. So I'm going to follow the herds, and I'm going to disconnect myself from my true nature of who I am. So I'm going to feel insecure instead of secure, and I'm going to live in poverty instead of in abundance, and I'm going to live in hatred and meanness instead of love. Not one of you said that. And yet what you do perpetuate as a mass consciousness is sometimes those things happen and I just can't help it. And we proclaim that is not true. You can help it. Situations do not have to control your emotions. Your emotions can control your relationship with situations, you see. But you got to get the horse before the cart. As you begin this process of segment intending, have we hooked you on it a little bit? As you begin this process of segment intending, what you're going to notice is, in a very short period of time, as you said, just by the way it shows up in your life experience, you're not going to be willing to let go of this powerful tool. You're not going to be willing to let it be a crapshoot or potluck. You're not just going to blunder into your days and whatever happens, happens, and then you lick your wounds and go home and hope for something better tomorrow. Instead, you're going to get so good at getting out ahead of it, and you're going to revel in how quickly things happen that are of benefit to you.